Hi, divas. How are we? What's going on?
My microphone was off.
Oh, good.
Hi, gorgeous girlies.
Hi.
Hi.
How are we?
Hey.
If you're watching, are you relieved to see us looking a little bit better today than we did last week?
We were two sacks of shit rotting in a sack of shit.
It was actually scary.
We had fun though.
No, I kept telling everybody because, okay, Chris and I got like permanent bracelets. And I got mine a little bit tighter because she said it would stretch a little bit. And when we were in New York, I was so puffy and swollen just from drinking the entire weekend and like treating myself horribly that like I woke up the last morning we were there. I woke up and my bracelet was like literally cutting off the fucking circulation in my arm. Like it was terrifying.
That was me this morning because I drank copious amounts of alcohol last night and it was like all the way down here and I had like a red line.
Yeah.
Like my hand was turning blue.
No, I know.
And I was like, holy fuck.
I know. Isn't it fun watching like the effects that alcohol has on your body as you age?
Actually, the weird thing about me is when I drink a lot, like I wake up and I'm so skinny. Like I wake up and I feel so thin and it's probably because I'm so fucking dehydrated.
No, that's exactly what it is. I used to be that way until I discovered binge eating after a night out. And I used to like wake up and just be like skinnier than I've ever looked. And I'd be like, why do people say alcohol makes you fat? Like I'm so skinny. And I haven't experienced that in quite some time, but
So I'm like the biggest tequila girl in the world.
mm-hmm.
And lately I've been drinking vodka because it's like for some reason I just have like handles. I'm not an alcoholic, but I just have handles of vodka in my like bar cabinet. So I'm like, okay, like I'm in a pinch. Like I need a cocktail before I go out. And then I'm like, okay, if I'm drinking vodka, then I should just be drinking vodka when I go out. So it's like consistent. And I haven't been hungover. Like today I was like a little hungover, but not really. And I took 2 Advil before I went to bed.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't hungover. Like if I've drank that much and I've been completely like debilitated, like unable to move, unable to function.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like fine today. Like I was like, I forgot that I even went out last night.
I wonder if vodka is better in terms of hangovers because I used to be a strictly vodka girl and then I've been drinking tequila probably because of you. And like thinking about like New York, my hangovers were actually
But
vile.
everyone says that like tequila doesn't give you a hangover.
But also like there's so many factors that can play into it. Like in New York, I think I drank 1 glass of water the entire time
and like
we were
also
there.
I wanted to say this when I was watching our episode from last week. Why is that like the only brand of water you can find in New York that like thin bottle with like it's like Mountain Polar Spring or something? It's like the green label. I'm like, why is that the only water bottle that they have in New York?
Oh, yeah, I know what one you're talking
Like,
about.
why is that the only water bottle there?
You know what's really interesting? I saw this like chart of the United States on the internet like a long time ago, a few years ago. And like the bottled water that they sell like in Costco, like whatever brand it is, it's the same. It's all the same water, but it's labeled differently and has different names based on like whatever region you're in. So like that brand of water is probably just the fucking same as whatever we drink here, but like it just has a different name.
I'm just like one of those water people where I have to have like a cute water bottle or else I don't feel good. You know?
Yeah, but like when you're as debilitated as we were in New York, like,
I'm not.
I'll drink anything.
I'm not complaining, but also like that's the only water that you can find at a bodega besides a fucking Essentia, which we
is it Mountain
can't drink.
Spring? Is that
something
what they have
or like
there?
Polar Mountain or Polar Spring or Mountain Spring?
Whatever.
It's like with the bubble writing.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back to Hot and Bothered.
Hi, girls. I'm Cedar Sham.
I'm Chris Bruno.
On this podcast, we talk about everything that we find hot as fuck.
And everything that bothers the absolute shit out of us.
Slay. Back to business. What else did we have to talk about before we?
I don't know. What do we want to talk about? Our new candidate. What do we have going on? I don't even know. This is like turning into a politic thing. We had an earthquake yesterday.
We've talked about enough politics on this
podcast.
I
don't know. There's a couple little hot topicias we can talk about.
I don't know anything that's going on in terms of like pop culture. I haven't seen anything new there.
Real Housewives of New Jersey finale Slade went off, but I know you don't follow that.
I don't watch. Sorry.
It's so good. I don't know. I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about lately.
Tell me.
I hate PDA.
Really?
I'm just gonna come out here and say it.
Well, okay. There's levels to PDA.
Like,
So
I
like
don't know.
what
I don't
type?
even want you to hold my hand in public.
Oh, okay, but how do you feel? You don't like receiving PDA. How do you feel about witnessing it?
I think it's disgusting.
Okay.
No, I think it's like normal to hold hands, but just like I don't know, maybe it's like internalized homophobia and like
Mm-hmm.
trauma, but I'm like I don't want to be seen holding hands with a man in public.
Really, you don't even like to hold hands, even if you're like super in love.
I mean, I just like get uncomfortable. Like I could be with the love of my life and like he could be all over me and I would still be like I'm uncomfortable.
Homophobic.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that homophobic?
Probably, yeah.
I'm just like I don't know. I don't want to be like we don't need to like draw attention. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I don't like it. Like, and of course, like in public, there are going to be times where I'm like all over my man or whatever.
When
But
you're blacked out.
yeah, or like I don't know. But like if we're just like walking somewhere, I'm like I don't need to be holding your hand.
Yeah.
I also think I have a bit of trauma based off of this topic.
Why?
I dated this guy who we never had sex. And I feel like he was like very PDA-y. And I was like, why are you
Putting on a show.
like why are you putting on a show? I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you want to be all over me in public
Yeah.
when we don't even like we literally can't like don't even have sex?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different factors.
Yeah.
I don't really notice when people are like PDAing, but
We're like other people.
like I don't notice it. I don't
Yeah.
really pay attention to that. But like for me, I just like I get like I feel like I get visibly uncomfortable.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't have internalized homophobia.
Well, you're not a homosexual.
I'm not a homophobe.
You are, but you're not a
Yeah.
homosexual.
No, yeah, no, that's what I was trying to say, but then yeah, it doesn't matter. So, anyway, so I obviously don't have like the Catholic guilt looming over me of the fact that like I'm gay because I'm unfortunately not, but like I remember when I was much younger, I used to get like so disturbed by like couples that would like sit on the same side of the booth as each other, like that kind of
I
thing.
have to do that with anyone. If I'm like I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're like I don't care. If there's two people and we're sitting at a booth, we're sitting on the same side of the booth.
Really?
That's what we did on Sunday.
Yeah, but we were waiting for
I
more
know, but like we would
people.
have done that. Like I would not have let you sit across from me.
No, that's what would have happened.
No, I wouldn't have let that happen.
Okay, so like anyway, I used to be
But I'm
like,
also like weird like that where I'm like we both need to be sitting in the booth. Like I want to sit in the booth
well,
and I know
also
that
because it's
you want to
the
sit in the
comfortable
booth.
spot
So
to
it's like
sit.
we
Yeah.
are both going to sit in the
Yeah,
booth.
it's like giving somebody the last bite of the cookie. It's like
Yeah.
it might be a microscopic bite, but like we're probably gonna insist on splitting it.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
No, but I used to get really uncomfortable like when I was in high school and I worked in a restaurant. I would get uncomfortable when people would sit on the same side of the booth as each other. And then I like got over that, I guess. And then it wasn't until like I fell in love with somebody and was like so disgustingly in love with someone where I was like, oh no, we have to sit on like even in like the most like uncomfortable circumstances, we would work out a way to sit on the same side of the table as each other because we were like so obsessed with each other. And like after experiencing that, I'm like now when I witness that happening, I'm like, oh, like I'm so happy for them, like they're in love,
Yeah.
even though I like want to kill them and myself. But like witnessing it doesn't bother me until you take it to a certain extreme where it's making everybody uncomfortable. So if you guys are like groping each other and have your like tongues down each other's
Oh
throats
yeah,
like
that's
at the dinner table, like don't
I'm
do
not even
that.
my brain can't even
You're
go
not,
there. I'm
yeah,
simply talking about like
yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like there's so many different things. Also like when I'm talking to like someone new
yeah.
and when we're out in public together
And they touch you, you're like, I don't know
and
you.
they like
Like
and they're
stranger
like
danger.
and they're like doing a little PDA moment. I'm like
Yeah.
I could run into somebody that I know and
Yeah.
I don't
What
want
if someone sees me with you?
like I don't want someone to see like you and me all over each other in
Mm-hmm.
public
Because I don't know you like that.
because I don't know you like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, we can be like that behind closed door. I don't know. I'm weird about
Yeah.
things like that.
I don't think that that's very weird. In terms of me participating in PDA, like we can hold hands in public and like whatever.
Oh, like what your situationship? Like if you were out in public with him, are you guys like holding hands and like looking like a couple?
We're not, but if he like initiated that, I would participate.
Well, I
But like
would too,
actually,
and I always do participate.
right, but you're thinking about it.
I should, yeah, like
Okay,
clarify.
this is a thought that I've had
What?
a couple of times and I never brought it to your attention, but Chris met my situationship, and the night that we had just finished recording an episode and this guy rolls in, and we were like all just sitting on the couch chit-chatting, and he like the second he like sat down, he like reaches over and like puts his arm on my leg. And I was like, you're not my boyfriend. Like, why are you touching
You're
me?
like, Chris can't witness this.
No,
Like, Chris
I'm
cannot
like,
see me being touched by a man. Like, the world is gonna blow up.
because it's like when we're in my apartment, like that's like fine and normal, and like he'll put his hand on my leg when we're in like the car together or something. But
Yeah.
like, it's like, are you being like what is that? Are you being territorial? Like, are you letting Chris know that like I'm fucking you tonight? Because we all know that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
My
don't know.
God.
Like, I don't know. It was just strange to me, and like. Not that it was strange. I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. Like he like wants to have his
I
hand
thought it
on
was
me.
cute.
But like it was also just like that's boyfriend behavior.
No, I think you were just nervous because I was there.
But
And I
also
can't
like
see you in a vulnerable state like
but
that.
also no one has ever like witnessed that dynamic between he and I. That's also because he was like an in the house boyfriend. He wasn't a public boyfriend. Do you know what
I
I'm
see.
saying? Like that was like a private relationship. It wasn't ever public. So when like
When you bring in someone from the real world into
someone
the
that
situation.
knows me as well, like if it
Yeah.
was a stranger, I wouldn't
Yeah.
care. But you know,
And I know the situation.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's a little different.
Exactly. Anyway, I don't know. I'm pro PDA. Just don't gross anybody out. I don't need to see you
I don't know.
groping
Maybe
each
one day I'll
other.
get over my fear of PDA. It's not that bad. I don't know. I don't want people to see me in public with someone that I barely know, like all over them. Like that's gross to me.
I've also had,
Like I don't want to look like a whore.
well, you are, but
I
also,
guess.
like, I've also had people, like, I remember going on a first date, my first date with the butthole doctor, and,
Your first and only.
mm-hmm, and he, like, grabbed my face and started making out with me, like, tongue down the throat in public. And
I don't like that.
I'm just like, first of all, I don't like witnessing that. Second of all, I'm too self-aware of a person. So like in my head, the only thing I'm not thinking about like, am I enjoying this? Is this kiss good? Like, do I want to fuck this person? I'm thinking about how uncomfortable am I making other people right now?
Okay, completely.
Yeah, like so don't put me in that position because I'm not even going to be able to like be enjoying it, you know?
People, the fuck kind of narcissistic millennial self-involved energy is this? Sorry, please excuse me. I must be sickened by bullshit. Oh, I love our fans. Cope junkie _ thank you. I saw throw up emojis, so it caught my eye. I went on a date
Free
a
speech,
couple
right?
nights ago, and yeah, we like it was a sweet little date. It was a cute little date, and imagine going on a date with me.
My
Like,
worst nightmare.
What the fuck?
My literal
What
worst nightmare.
the fuck? Imagine going on a date with me. That is
No.
funny.
No.
Anyway, so we had we had a good time. He was cute. It was great. And then we like made out after like on the
Mhm.
sidewalk outside of the restaurant. And I
Mhm.
was like, can we not?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do this. There's like dozens of people walking by, and I'm just like, I don't want to be doing this right now. I was like, I am a public figure.
People know me.
Not
I have fans
no, I'm
that
kidding.
respect me.
But I'm like literally my biggest fear is like having everyone knows this. My biggest fear is having
being perceived.
No, my biggest well, maybe that's what you're defining what I'm about to say as, and maybe that's what it means, but having someone see me in public and I do not see them.
Yeah, being
That
perceived.
is my biggest fear. And like imagining someone witnessing that is fucking detrimental to my mental state.
Okay. if you're doing something embarrassing, I can understand
Okay,
that. But
making out with a
if
stranger on the sidewalk is
if
embarrassing.
somebody were to DM me and be like, "Oh my god, I think I saw you like making out with this guy on the street," I'd be like, "Yeah, that was me. I was like making out with a guy. Like that's hot. I was doing something hot.
Oh
That's
my god,
hot
that's
girl
my biggest
behavior."
fear. But I don't know. Everyone
Okay,
knows that though, and I'm like a private girl.
I need to say something. You are a private girl, and
I'm
it's
like
so strange to
I'm
me.
a mysterious lady.
Okay, that's also one of my things is that I'm mysterious by accident. Like, I will not leave anything untold, but my life is a little too complex. So people will be like, I know so much about you, but like your whole life is very questionable to me. Like, I don't know what happens. You
Because
know
they
what I'm
think you're
saying?
lying and fabricating.
Probably.
I'm mysterious.
That's
I'm private by nature.
that's not where I was headed with that. But what I wanted to say was that I literally the other night did the same fucking thing. Thankfully it wasn't there and I probably would have been more uncomfortable. So I went on a date and then we were outside like going to our cars and we were like half a block away from the bar that we were at. So I wasn't worried about like making out in front of the bouncers or like whatever. But we were like half a block away next to one of our vehicles and had a little makeout session on the sidewalk. I think like one person walked by, but like because it wasn't like a crowded scenario, I
Yeah.
wasn't really uncomfortable and I wasn't really thinking about that. But had it been crowded, I would have been
Yeah, and
uncomfortable.
this guy was like, "What? Like what like he was like, "Why are you like?" And I was like, "Because you're like."
You're like, I don't want my fans to lose respect for me because I'm making out with an ugly troll. Like,
No, I was also just like, it was weird, and it was like kind of a weird makeout. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. We don't need to get too deeply into it, but I was like, why are you like stopping midway through with like your mouth open? Like, what am I supposed to be doing?
that's also something we need to dissect, but maybe another day. We'll pin this for later. But like sometimes when you're making out with someone and they do weird things with your mouth and you're just like, what am I supposed to be doing?
And
How
also,
do I
I'm
like how do I engage with this? Or like what is my part in this?
like, and also, are you expecting me to do something? I'm like, you're taking the reins
Mm-hmm.
by holding that position. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like you are taking the reins, but you want me to take the reins with what to do, but you're the one that's making this weird.
Right. And so I don't know how to respond back to that. Like
And also, I'm
I'm
not like a big fan of
that's literally where I was going with this.
what?
Like I love a good traditional makeout with a little tongue action.
Like
Bring
a
it in, bring it
soft,
out.
little,
Da da
gorgeous
da da.
makeout.
Yeah, and then like every once in a while you get that person that like they'll put their tongue in your mouth and then they don't do anything with it and they just
I
like are like
can't talk about that
no,
kind of
and it's like
person.
I always and still to this day like have and will have this problem when somebody does that. How like and if somebody who's listening to this like knows and does that to other people, tell me what you're wanting from us because
Also,
like
think
hold
about
on.
like what
Like am am I your tongue is in my mouth and it's just there? Like do you want me to suck on it? Am I supposed to bite it? Because it's taking up too much
yeah,
space.
like
I
am I
can't
supposed to
move
give
my
your
own
tongue a
tongue.
blowjob?
Yeah, like do I like and then I'm like, do you want me to bite it? Like I don't know what you want with that.
It's so fucking weird.
Like
You've experienced that too, where someone's
yes.
mouth is just like open and they're like, I'm like,
And I always say that when I talk about like weird kissers. I'm like, some
yeah,
people just like they'll just do something that leaves a and then they'll pause kind of. And it
yeah.
like
And I'm like,
it
where
leaves
am I
this
going?
window
And
of
that's why I
like
was looking around because I'm like, are you pausing? Because like like, weird.
it's weird. I don't know how you want me to react or respond in this
And
situation.
what are you supposed to do in that
And do other
situation?
and why do you think that that's acceptable? Do other people do that to you?
It's like not knowing the motion of the ocean. No, yeah, it's just I don't know how to
Like
maneuver my tongue in those
where did
situations.
you learn that? Why do you think it's acceptable? And like what am I supposed to do?
I've like taught multiple people how to kiss.
And it's sad how many adults need to learn how to kiss.
Like especially when I'm like fucked up and I like make out with someone and like they don't know what they're doing,
And you have
and
enough
I'm
balls
like
to be like,
and
hold
I'm like,
on.
okay, pump the brakes
Yeah.
and like do it this way.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna take the lead and you're gonna follow.
Yeah.
Have we ever made out before?
I know.
I don't think we have.
I don't think we ever will. I feel like it would feel like making out with my brother. Kim and I had this conversation when we were in New York because Kim obviously is obsessed with you and wants to fuck you.
She's kind of
And
mean to me.
she like, of course she is. And she was like, she said something, she was like gushing over like how hot you were. And I was like, yeah, sometimes I forget Chris is hot. And then every once in a while I'll look at him and be like, oh yeah, you're hot. And
Oh my God, I'm so flattered.
and then I was saying
Just
like
because you literally hate me so
I
much.
literally hate you so much. And then I was saying like, yeah, like, but as hot as he is, like I could never, like I could never make out with you.
Where was I during this conversation?
You
Making out
were
with
there.
Richie?
Yeah, exactly. But then I was saying like Richie and I have made out and we have that type of relationship where like that wouldn't bother me at all. And then Kim was like, I feel that way toward Richie.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So like we're too close.
So me and Kim can make out, and you and Richie can make out,
Exactly.
and me and Richie can make out.
And then maybe me and Kim can make out, but I think also that would never happen.
I know she doesn't like that kind of thing. She's
No.
extremely homophobic.
I don't know if I like that kind of thing. It's been a really long time
Making
since
out
I've
with
made
a
out
girl.
with a girl.
That's also how I feel. Like when I was in college and when I was even out of college, like I would be making out with like every woman under the sun. Like I would make out with absolutely everybody. And now I'm like, I would never
I
put
know.
anything near your mouth.
I
I'm like,
know.
I would never.
You reach a certain point where like it just feels a little unnecessary.
But I'm also halfway there with men, so
I go through phases where I'm like, I want to kiss everybody and everything, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. Like, let's just make out because making out doesn't even count. Like, that's like making out with somebody is like giving a hug. It's not like, you know,
I also get really grossed out very easily.
yeah. If you and I ever made out, we would never look each other in the
I
eye
wouldn't be able to do
again.
this
We would
anymore.
never look
I
each
wouldn't
other
be
in
able
the
to
eye
do this
again.
anymore. I don't think I would like that.
I don't think I would either.
Oh my God.
Thank you for never making out with me.
Thank you for respecting my boundaries.
Um
Yeah.
So in terms of both of us going out on dates and making out on the sidewalk and having vastly different experiences, should we talk about our topics?
I guess.
Okay. Chris, are you hot? Are you bothered?
I'm hot this week. Go figure. If I had a nickel for every time I said that, actually.
Kind of love.
I'm kind of hot this week because I don't know. I feel like I kind of have a Cedar approach to dating right now. I'm just kind of like, I'm like
My work here is done.
Like honestly, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I hate going on dates. I hate talking to people. Like, I don't hate talking to people. I'm not that antisocial. But like sometimes I'm just like, it's so exhausting. I just get annoyed so easily. But lately I've been like, it doesn't have to be that serious. Like it literally is not that. Okay, so I'm hot this week because dating does like the verb of dating like does not have to be taken so seriously. Like I feel like the past few dates that I've been on, I've just been like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, also, this is actually something that's really interesting that I wanted to. This kind of like flipped a switch in my brain. This guy that I was talking to was like, everyone that I meet on Hinge or everyone that I meet on Raya or whatever is just a friend until they're like more than a friend. And I was like, that's like something that I've always thought, but I've never like digested or like thought through. And so once he said that, I was like, okay, this totally makes sense. Like, I don't need to like go into a date having this like weird pressure because I'm like, okay, if this person thinks this and I've kind of always thought this, but then I'm just so used to like normal dating social constructs that have been like drilled into our heads, you know, I'm like, other people probably think this. So I'm going to take a different approach to dating. And it's just like, we're just all homies. We're all hanging out. We're all friends. Like we're getting to know each other as people. Like there's no pressure of like, we're going to get married, you know, at the end of the week if these 3 dates go well or 2 dates or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just feel like I have like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders where I'm just like, I don't know. I'm also like, I don't owe anyone anything and no one owes me anything. And I feel like this is something that we've talked about a million times, but it's just nice to like, I've taken off the pressure of like, thinking that like going on a date like has to like evolve into something or there's going to be like some weird awkwardness after. I'm like, nothing's awkward, nothing matters,
Yeah.
and no one owes anyone anything.
Like, if you think about it, the concept of going on a date with somebody is just two people sitting down and like having a conversation together.
Mm-hmm.
And like that can be interpreted in any way you want it. And so like in my head personally, I'm like, okay, if I go out and I like learn something new about someone else and myself, then like
Mm-hmm.
that's a fucking win in my book. Like we don't have to be friends, we don't have to be lovers, we don't have to date, we don't have to have sex. Like let's just chat and see
Yeah.
if the vibe is there.
Yeah. I also feel like at the beginning of the year, I was going on like such terrible dates. And I was like, it's honestly probably because of like the mindset that I was going into these dates with.
What was your mindset going into
Just
them?
like, I don't really want to do this. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, Artie was just kind of like over it before I even got there. And now I'm just like, let's go eat something. Like, what are you gonna like? What are you ordering to drink, diva? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's fun. Just go, chill, have a good time, and
Yeah.
like don't fucking worry. And like, if this person doesn't like you, who gives an absolute fuck?
And when you go into it with that mindset, it's like, how can you have a bad time? Like you're literally just there for the experience.
Yeah,
And even
you're
if,
there for solely like going to dinner with someone and
yeah.
just like enjoying someone's company.
Well, and even if the date is fucking excruciating, like when you go into it with that mindset, those dates happen less frequently because you're
Mm-hmm.
taking so much pressure off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's also why I have a rule of like, I will never go to like dinner with somebody for a first date. Like, it's usually always just drinks
Mm-hmm.
because, like, if I'm not having a good time, I can excuse myself, you know?
You know what really, really makes me uncomfortable?
Tell me.
Like I'm the type of bitch like I don't like a curveball.
Mm.
So when someone's like, "Oh, like let's go get drinks. Like let's meet and let's go get drinks." And then it turns into like a sit down dinner. I'm like,
Mm.
I wasn't prepared for this. It's not that big of a deal, but it
That
just
doesn't bother me.
no, it just
That's also mindset.
no, I know, but it just pisses me off because I'm like, okay, so now I feel like this is going to be a little bit more formal
Mm.
and like I don't really have an out and I have to like eat. I also don't like eating in front of people that I don't know.
That's why I'm saying I also always do drinks for a first date instead of dinner
Yeah.
because I don't want to eat in front of you while I'm trying to
But
learn about you and like talk to you.
true. I also just feel like people say drinks, but it means like let's go get dinner and drinks, and I'm like, but getting drinks is different than getting dinner
I
with a
don't
drink.
have that same experience because usually
I feel like that's
it's
happened
like,
to me multiple times.
but there's also like sometimes you go on a date where you're like, okay, yeah, like let's go get drinks, and then you sit down, and then like for me, because I have an eating disorder, I'm like, I don't ever eat before I go out to drinks. And then like we'll be like sitting and having a few drinks and
And then
talking.
you're like, I'm absolutely starving. I'm
And
gonna
then I'm
fall
like,
over.
I'm hungry, but usually I don't say anything until like they say, and then they're
And you're
like,
like, yeah,
oh,
I
are you
could eat.
hungry? And I'm like, oh yeah, like let's and then we have like a dinner, kind of. Sometimes it's like a full dinner, sometimes it's like a little snack or whatever. But like I think that those are always fun because like that kind of just means that you're like enjoying
Enjoying
yourselves
it,
and you're like
yeah.
having a good time
Yeah.
versus like trying to sprint out the door after your first cocktail.
Okay, yeah. No, I need to actually reverse that thought. I don't care if someone says let's go get drinks and we sit down at a formal candlelit table. It's completely fine.
It's like not a big deal.
It's not, but I'm just like I guess I'm just an anxious girl.
Yeah. And I am too, but like I also when I learned to date and not care was because I was getting over like one of the worst heartbreaks I've ever experienced in my life and I didn't have anything to do to distract myself
So you're
except
like,
for
I'm
go
gonna
on
go
dates.
on dates and
So like
entertain myself.
I already was going into it with the mindset of like I'm not dating to meet somebody. I'm dating literally just to like explore and like enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I approached dating in that way, it was like I was having the most fun I've ever had in my whole fucking life.
I
Like
think I've turned a new leaf.
I think you have. Like they think this is huge for you. You say a bag of dicks?
I thought you said faggot bitch. Um Yeah, I don't know. I think that my new holistic approach to life is just opening up a lot of doors for me, honestly, at the
I'm
end of the
excited
day.
for you. I'm excited for you. I will say I have had that approach to dating for a long time. And then I did brace yourself for this because it could still happen. But also, when you don't care, you just don't care. But like, I was dating very carelessly for like a couple of years. And then all of a sudden, I had like a string of probably like 3 or 4 like really bad dates, like catastrophically bad dates. And then I stopped dating for a little while, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's bound to happen.
it is just kind of like par for the course. Like
Yeah.
it does just happen, but also like it doesn't matter if you don't fucking
But
care.
now I'm kind of like excited. Like I'm like I want to go on one date a week.
Yes, and talk to somebody and
And I
chit
just want
chat
to go
and
chit
talk about
chat.
yourself, talk about them,
I want to go meet people.
learn
I want to go look at
things.
a cute man,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. No, it's
I want to
actually
drink
really fun.
alcohol.
I'm glad that you're
In a
here.
week, you guys, I'm
Hi,
probably
nice
going
to
to
meet
be
you. I'm
like,
so glad you're
I live
here.
under a rock and I'm never speaking to a man again. But
1000%.
I don't know. I feel like I have a new approach to it where I'm just like I don't give a fuck and like none of this matters.
I'm going to give myself a little bit of credit here because like Chris was thinking about going on this date. I was like, "You should go on a date with this guy. You should go on a date with this guy." So he was like getting ready to go out on a date with this guy, and then he was like, I don't know, like I don't even remember what you said. You were
I was just
texting me and you were
complaining.
like, "What am I even going to talk about with this guy?" blah 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 blah. And I texted you and I was like, literally none of it matters. Like it doesn't matter. You're just going for the experience. You're not going to meet the love of your life. You're just going to go have fun and have a new experience. And then you text me after the date and you were like, I just realized dating doesn't need to be so serious. I'm like, wow, what a revolutionary idea.
I
I'm
was
so
just
happy you
because
thought
I
of
was just
that.
like, I don't fucking care. And then it was
No.
fine. And maybe it was just because we had like a good date and
Yeah.
there was no follow up after.
Yeah.
There is no
That's so
texting. It was
gorgeous.
so good.
I
And I
love
was just
that.
like, please, thank you. Like we had dinner together and if
Like
I
a
see
mutual little, like, that was enough.
like I think that we just both got our little fix.
Yeah.
Like, we both got a little something and that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah. That's so
He probably
lovely.
hated me.
And it doesn't
I
matter.
don't care.
And it doesn't
I
matter. And that's the
don't give a
best part about
fuck.
it.
Actually, how could he hate me?
But also, isn't it sad to think about? Like, think about the type of person that goes out on a date, like, really hoping, wanting, and craving to meet the love of their life.
I
Like,
mean, that's
I wouldn't want to
fine.
date. No, that's fine, but I wouldn't want to date like that because dating can be so disappointing when you put pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine going into like first dates, especially in a fucking city like Los
But also, I
Angeles.
feel like when you do put pressure on a date like that, when you're really, because I mean, even when I go on these dates, I'm just kind of going to, honestly, like pessimistically, like I'm just like, I don't want to be doing this, like da 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 da. But lately, I've just flipped
Mm-hmm.
a little something. But I feel like if you were to go into a date like that, like really hoping that this is like the man of your dreams or something like that, it's like they're most likely going to disappoint you and you're not going to act like genuine. You know what I
No,
mean? You're going to be so
yeah.
fixated on like performing for this person so
Yep.
that they like you that it's like you're going to be disappointed because you have high expectations going into
Mm-hmm.
this and you are going to be like acting like a fucking caricature of yourself
Yeah.
because you want to impress them.
Yeah. And it's sad. It's like you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. And it's like, it's not like I sincerely feel bad for people who approach dating that way. Like, I want everyone to meet the love of their life. I want everyone to be happy. But, like, when you're meeting fucking strangers in a large city, like, the odds that the person you go out with to dinner on a Tuesday night being the love of your life are probably pretty slim, you know? So, like, maybe if you just approach it from, like, the perspective of, like, oh, I'm just going out, I'm just having fun, I'm having a few drinks, talking to a new person, then like it's less, first of all, it's less disappointing. Second of all, like you're going to be your most genuine and authentic self. So like no one's like, you're not going to be wasting not only your time, but you're not going to be wasting everyone else's fucking time too.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I I'm gonna go on 100 dates
And you should.
this month. Where do you think you're gonna meet the love of your life? I think that we've already met the loves of our lives.
Yeah, they're long gone.
No, I'm kidding. But like maybe, I don't know. I feel like it could be like one of those weird situations that like you've met this person before and that you know what I mean?
Like maybe, yeah. And then you didn't see or speak to each other for like a year and a half. And then all of a sudden you bump into each other somewhere. Like,
Actually, no one that I know currently I would marry.
yeah. I don't know. I actually don't think about that, and I'm happy that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to. And like I used to be the type of person where like I would have paid the like $15 to the psychic on Etsy to like tell me where I and draw a picture of the love of my
On
life.
Etsy.
You know, they
Yeah.
sell those on Etsy. Anyway,
Holy
and
shit! I want to go do that. Wait, we should do that. Wait, we should do that.
should
What if
we?
it looks like someone that we already know?
Should we? And then we can post it on the pod.
Wait, how do they know what you look like? How do they know that?
They're psychics.
But how do they know who you are? You meet with them?
No, no, no.
You just submit your name?
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna.
Watch her draw a picture of a fucking woman for me. Okay, are you hot or are you bothered this week?
Wait, I wasn't finished. I would have been the type of person that would do something like that. And thankfully I've reached a point of comfortability with myself and with being alone where I'm like, if it fucking happens, slay, but I don't want to think about it. If it's meant to come, if it's meant to be something in my path and on my journey, then like gorgeous. I'll see it then. I'll see it when that crosses my path, but until then, like I'm just going to mind my P's and Q's, you know? So,
I'm so at peace with being single.
it's very heavenly. Like not having a fucking stinky mouth breather in your bed. Imagine. Imagine
I don't know.
me
It's
next
just
to you in New York, literally snoring.
snoring.
Okay.
I don't know. Like honestly, everything that we say is subject to change, as everybody
Oh,
knows.
yeah. We'll have a different opinion next week.
We'll have a different opinion once we stop recording.
Okay. I want to talk about myself.
Yeah,
now.
are you hot or are you bothered?
I'm bothered. And this is basically the same fucking conversation that we just had. And
I'm literally
so
hot and you're bothered.
I'm going to make this, 1000%. Obviously. Well, and if you looked at the clips from last week, then like clearly you're the hot one and I'm the fucking bothered one. I literally look like Kim Kardashian with preeclampsia
Wait, which one's from last week?
of us in New York.
Oh. Yeah, we could have both used an ice roller to the face. But
The whole body, I needed an ice bath. Anyway, I'm bothered. This goes in line with like literally the conversation we were just having. So this is going to be short and sweet, but I'm bothered because I have mastered the art of conversation. Not in any aspect of my life. I haven't mastered it professionally. I haven't mastered it in terms of like meeting and making new friends. I still don't know how to talk to women, and it's probably because I'm a closeted lesbian. But like I have mastered the art of conversation with men. So like this has happened, and I've noticed this pattern probably over the past like 3 or 4 first dates that I've been on, where like I sit down, I'm on this date, and the conversation is so good. Like,
because you're talking the
so
whole time.
good. And then I leave and I'm like, wow, that was such a good date. And then I take a day or two to think about it. And I'm like, oh, I actually don't think I'm compatible at all with this person. And I realize it's like literally just because I'm good at fucking talking. Like,
Mhm.
first of all, I know how to yap. Second of all, I know how to ask questions. Third of all, I know how to like psychoanalyze everybody
Yeah.
and their fucking mothers. So like when you tell me something your dad said to you, I know how to be like, okay, wait, how is your relationship with your dad? Like, are you closer with your mom? Blah blah blah. Like, and we can have the best conversation and get into every little nitty gritty detail about everything. And like, we both will have a great time. But do I like you? I don't know. Are we compatible? Probably not. For example, the date that I went on last week where we made out on the sidewalk, like the conversation was so good. We had such a good time. So much fun. He even told me after, like, he was like, wow, we really talked for so long, blah, 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 blah. And looking back on it, I'm like, this man and I are not compatible in any fucking way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
Also, I think he might be a little transphobic. And like he told me he doesn't really think that like trans people should use whatever bathroom they want. And I'm like, it's great first date conversation,
Yeah,
but also like
let's get right into it, babe.
no, exactly. And like me being a great conversationist, I'm like, is that a word?
I don't know.
Because I'm a good because I'm good at conversation, I am like, oh, okay, yeah, like I guess I can see like why you feel that way, but let me tell you how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the conversation just keeps rolling. And anyway, so then yeah, like I said, looking back on the date, I like leave the date, I'm like, yeah, that was nice. And then like a day later, I'm like, yeah, that was still nice, but also I don't think me and this guy are compatible at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. But it's like upon first impression, like ask me 5 minutes after the date, I'd be like, that was the best date I've ever been on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just gotten a little complicated. And maybe I've taken the approach that you're now taking to dating. Maybe I've taken it too far.
I know, and that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, it takes a while to get here, so don't worry.
I know, but you know me overthinking and always looking into the future.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I feel like how would you know if you even were interested in someone and wanted to go on a second date
That's the
at
thing I
that
struggle
point?
with. That's what I really struggle with. But I always say,
You
like,
coming home and analyzing this 3-hour date for literally 3.5 full days, being like, I'm not compatible with this man. Am I compatible? Like psychoanalyzing the entire conversation.
no, I come home because I've usually had a few cocktails. I have a snack and I turn my brain off and I watch reality TV. And then I wake up the next morning and then I have a text from him and he's like, I had a great time. Like, when do you want to get together again? And it's like the second that question is asked, I'm like,
Get away from me.
seeing each other again. Who said I wanted to do
Like,
that?
no, that's not in the cards for you
I know I
or
was laughing
me.
at everything you said. I know that I learned about the trauma that you
Yeah,
endured when you were
I know
6
that we
years
made
old. Like,
out.
I know that we had a really great kiss after the fact, but like, see you again. Like, are you
Absolutely not.
crazy? And that's usually when the psychoanalyzing begins, because then I have to think to myself, okay, do I actually want to spend my time seeing this person again? And then like
You're like, no.
I realize, and then it gets to a point of like discomfort, and that's where I'm forced to either sack up and tell somebody I don't want to see them again, or blow them off, or ghost them. So anyway,
Aren't you not a
guys,
ghoster?
it depends.
Really?
It depends. I'll ghost if somebody's a little too much. If you're too needy, if you're annoying the fuck out of me, I will just stop responding. But if you're really nice and normal, then I won't ghost you and I'll just
Mm-hmm.
like be normal with you. But
And you'll let
like,
him down easy.
yeah, like
I haven't really been in a position to ghost anyone lately.
you need to get there.
I've been,
But you
I've
kind
been,
of
I,
did, that guy you went
oh,
out with, and like you
who?
guys mutually ghosted each other.
Who?
The one that you were just talking about.
Oh, that was like 2 days ago. So we haven't like,
It was only 2 days ago.
that was on Tuesday night.
Wow, what a
No,
week
Monday
it's
night.
been.
Monday.
Okay.
Um,
What's a normal amount of time for you to text somebody after a date? You don't.
not.
You don't.
I actually did text him when I was driving home. I take that back because he said something to the waiter. He's like, "Oh yeah, like this men's club that I'm a member of." Da, 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 da. And so I texted him on the way home, and I was like, "Wait, I forgot to ask you, like, what is this men's club that you're a part of?"
Yeah.
And then we talked about that for like exchanged 2 messages, and that was it.
Who is the one that stopped responding?
Um, he asked for nudes for me to submit nudes to enter the to enter the men's club. It was a joke and it was funny. And then I said in person, and then he hearted it.
Okay.
So I was left on red.
Because you wouldn't submit nudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was me with my ex-boyfriend last week.
And today. Okay, what else should we talk about? We have a couple more minutes.
I don't think we need to talk about anything else. Our past 4 episodes have been like an hour and a half long.
Okay, Divalicious Montgomerys.
Okay, well, what's the protocol here? Do I just keep dating and then keep ghosting people, or what? And then you keep dating and just having fun, but now I really have to sit back and like reassess and reevaluate.
We need to get off of the air right now. We need to get off the air because I need to go find someone to go on a date with.
Immediately get on Hinge, get
I
on
know this cute guy
Raya.
messaged me on Hinge.
I need to show you this guy that I matched with on Raya earlier. Also, I have a tip for everybody. Listen, girls, this is like the biggest dating app hack I have discovered to date. And it's very simple and you all probably know about it. But if your Hinge is dry, if you're not getting likes, if you're not matching with people, change your location to a different city for like 4 or 5 days. Maybe not even that, maybe 2, 3 days. Just change it. First of all, as soon as you drop your pin in the new city, your Hinge will blow up. You won't even know what to do with yourself because your notifications will be. Chris is literally doing it right
Where
now.
should I do Las Vegas?
Ew.
Me opening Instagram? What should I do?
Anyway, your Hinge will like literally blow up that it might like crash your phone.
Hinge should sponsor
And
us.
then I've been struggling with this part. So I've done this twice now over the past couple of months. I've done it more times than that, but recently I've only done it like about 2 times. The first time was the last time I went to Arizona and I changed my location to Arizona. The second time I did it was when I was in New York. I changed my location to New York. And your Hinge will literally blow the fuck up. And then once you drop your pin back in your city or in your location, then you should start getting likes again and things will be normal and you can like resume as is. However, the past 2 times I've done it, I have gotten likes and I have gotten like the attention that I wanted, but not to the extreme extent that I've experienced before. So proceed with caution because I don't want anyone to get their hopes up, but it is a tactic worth trying. So change your location for a few days, enjoy the instant gratification that that brings you, and then drop your pin back at home and then just see what the results are. Because you might get more likes. I don't know. To be determined. The algorithms are funny.
I
Where'd you
just
change
did
it
that.
to?
New York.
Good. Your Hinge is going to blow the fuck
I'm
up.
not gonna respond to
Actually,
anyone.
I matched with, I wasn't going to match with anybody in New York because I was like, that's useless. And then there were a couple cute ones. And I was like, damn, these guys in New York. And then I had a second where I was like, I should move to New York. The guys here are really hot. And they're all ugly in LA.
You've done that before, babe.
I know. I'm not doing it again.
Okay, girls, thank you for listening. Go like us on Apple Music, Spotify,
Actually,
NMDB.
if you wouldn't mind being so kind as to submit a rating, like a literal rating review, write out a review. Say, I'm submitting this because Cedar promised that she would stick her tongue down my throat if I leave this review. Go ahead, do it. Give us 5 stars. And then also, Chris, tell them what their homework is this week
Go on a date and have fun and don't care.
and talk to people
Like, go on a fun date.
and then ghost them. And also practice extreme PDA with the person you're on a first date with.
Yes.
Okay, there's your homework assignments. We love you and we'll see you next week, divas.
Love you, girls.
Bye.